Light. Hi everybody, welcome in. SirRocksAlot here, and just gonna work on some stones. A little bit different today. So I had pre-backed these. Well, I backed them upside down, or topsy-turvy. Normally I would cut something in half, back the bottom, and then try to make my dome this way. I decided to try different this time, just to see how it works. So there's a lot of backing on this. This is actually an end piece, so it curves underneath here, and gonna see if I get as much more or less of the stone than if I tried it the other way around, which I normally do, where I would back this side, the dome goes this way, and then hopefully you grind down to something that's presentable. So did that with a few stones here. Just as a quick beginning, I wanted to thank Julie and Brian. I did get my cab in super quick, so thank you Julia and Brian. AZ Rock Hounding, if you don't know them, go over to their channel, subscribe. Awesome. They have their own claims, they big in the rock community, and just super generous and kind in general. So thank you Julie and Brian. This was my cab. It's got these lovely little bluey purpley blues inside that moss. Get it in the right light, it's awesome. Outside it's fantastic, and yeah, really nice material and really nicely cabbed, so thank you for that. Along with that, I got with one of the fancy pens. Let's see how this does with me outside. So this is the channel, AZ Rockhound Expeditions. Welcome in, happy Sunday, and we'll see how this does outside, but I have a feeling I'm going to fill this up with rock gunk, which will look pretty cool. Hi everybody, welcome in. Sunday, and yeah, Sunday lunch or after lunch for me, and we're just going to go through some stones that I want to get done before I have to go to my work week. So generally the times I get to go live are late in the week and once over the weekend, and then I have other responsibilities and duties and chores and things that we need to do around the house and things that I need to do for work. So it seems to be like Thursday tea time and Sunday lunchtime. It's difficult to choose when you want to go live, but these are the times that I find myself in my shop. So just going over these. Hi everybody, welcome in. I did these topsy-turvy. I backed them differently than I normally would. So this is an end piece of number 8. This is caked in backing. The shape of it, this is the end piece, so it's actually domed this way, or I should put it this way, domed that way. And normally I would back this side and then come down from this side and hopefully find some color as I'm going through the outside skin. But I thought I'd try something different. So that is all filled in with backing. And now I'm going to bring the sides in and see if I can make a stone that way whilst using that middle part as the face. It's going to be pretty mucky. Now the piece of Bella Blue, same thing, end piece. So underneath here, it's all concavey and rugged. Thank you for the thumbs up, really appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to see if we can cut that down. I have a piece of Kingman, same thing, doing the opposite of what I normally do. Normally I would back it this side and come down from the outside skin down. but did something a little different. And for some reason, this wax paper does not have any wax on it. And it's not parchment paper, it's wax paper, just not doing it. I have a little surprises. I have that piece of Kingman here, which is really nice. Got hematite or pyrite in it. I think it's hematite. And then this piece, I don't know if you were watching a couple weeks back, we did some cuts outside, and I had some of the I sound like I'm in an air show today. But welcome in, everybody. So this came from the same place that the Kingman came from, or the same vendor. And this was a red web chrysocolla is what they were calling it. And when we put it on the saw, I had a slight heart attack because it got caught. That saw blade chunked. Sorry about that. Chunked. And it's very scary. So I did get that little piece off. And we'll see if we can make something out of that. So that's the general idea today. Thanks for coming in. I don't know if you are with the family, watching football, got some music going. For some reason, the planes and the dogs are very busy for a Sunday. And gonna put gloves on for this one, because I do have a lot of backing on here that needs to come off first. So, hey Bolt, how you doing today? Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. My couple of my mods, or one of my mods, is out shopping for flowers, I think. And we're going to do this simultaneously, where I'm working on some stones and she is working on some strawberries. That's the plan. Let me just get a little substance. So again, just let me show this one real quick. So if you don't know AZ Rockhound Expeditions, this is their channel. Please go over and subscribe. It's Julie and Brian. Everything you need to know about minerals, rocks, stones, mining, claims. Very generous, very kind. And this was something that came off their claim. They have some amazing sort of diversity of minerals and stones and agates and bugs and bots. And hi Camille, welcome in. And yeah, so if you go over there, they do sell from time to time. They do take people out on their claim, and I think, what's it called, the ash pit they take them to. But yes, full of agates and all kinds of goodies. So let's do that. I think we're going to go over to the machine. Let me get my mask. And yeah, so hold on 1 second. I'm going to make a quick movement, and then we're going to start taking, hopefully, most of this backing off. Boop. Is this going to work? Sure it is. There we go. So I work on a Diamond Pacific Genie, and it's a 6-inch wheel on it. It works on a geyser system where there is a pump just to the right here, underneath this guard, and literally it's just an air pump. Pushes air down this tube. You have this little suction area that goes into your water, and that helps spit that water up onto the wheels. One, it keeps your stones cool, but it also mostly and most safely keeps the silica out of the air, so I don't end up with silicosis, which is a real thing in many areas. It's not just in lapidary. So this is going to get pretty dirty pretty quick, and I think we'll just go start with the big one. It's piece of number 8, and we're going to take all this off, and then I will readdress my wheels to try and get some of this gunk out, but this is going to get pretty messy. And the noise shouldn't be too bad, because it's just welds. But it is going to get nasty dirty. But yeah, thank you all for coming in. Welcome in. If you could hit that like, maybe subscribe, that'd be fantastic. If you like shopping for stuff, I think Kyle is on live right now too. And he is doing his rock sale. So he has minerals from all over the world. I don't know what he's selling today. Just bringing this in. And we're going to get to the edge and see how thin it is on the edge. So, yeah, in the title I put Topsy-Turvy because normally I would back it here and come down from the dome side, but I don't know, I decided to try the other way just to see as an experimentation. Slowly. I put a lot on this one. Just starting to get on this top end where you can see how thin it was on the edge. And I can always bring this back down. You can see my wax paper. I don't know if they said it's wax paper. I don't think it's wax paper. Hi Husky. Hi, yes, my art. Good morning to you. Yeah, Husky, it's like lunchtime on a Sunday for us, and I did want to wait until maybe a few people were not only waking up, but maybe getting out of church on the West Coast, or whatever it is, so maybe their Sunday morning walk. Back from the top side, and that was the middle of the cut, so we'll see what happens. This may end up as a big piece, it may end up a lot smaller than it looks right now. You can just see that number 8 starting to pop through. You can see it's even thinner here. I kind of know it's pretty thin down here. Oops, good catch. And I'm going to keep bringing it in because I need at least 5 millimeters of the matrix showing all the way around so that I have enough that I can still go. That's the plan. Okay, so it's starting to show over this side. Hi everybody. So, starting to see the turquoise on that side. It's almost getting thick enough this side. But you can see how this edge sort of wobbled. If I remember correctly, this piece wasn't too bad. It was pretty regular in its dome on the outside skin. working on an 80 grip diamond wheel right now. Okay. I'm almost to that point that I want to be. It's still a little thin right here. I don't know if this is going to work. This is my brain playing tricks on me to try something different. Actually, what we'll end up doing is I'll take some of this bottom off, and you can see it'll probably pop out in the middle how high this upside down dome was. Still need to get a bit thicker up here. Right now I'm just waiting for the stone to show me what it wants to do. It has more of a choice than I do. Pretty good. So I don't know if you can imagine. See how that line goes? That's actually the outside skin of this end cut. And you can see how deep that hollow actually dug. And that's what I'm trying to make up for. Okay. I think I have enough to work with. Do the back just a little. Bring it down and get rid of that paper. I don't need this stone just being old backing, and that you can already see. So just in that little bit that I took off, you can see where the top of that stone was. If you can imagine, it went from where that height is on the edge and rounded, and that's the middle of that back dome. So now all this around the outside on sort of a triangular angle that's all backing, and that's all stone in the middle. And this is about as big of a stone as I like to do on the Genie. This is only 1.5 inches. Some people are able to do much bigger. I am not that good yet. Well, I am that good, just with a really big stone. What you end up doing is you go through like 3 wheels, it looks perfect, and then you snag yourself on the corner of one of the adjacent wheels and put a big old groove in it. and very satisfactory when you do it. So just taking this back down a little bit, trying to keep it as straight and level as I can. You can start to see the edge coming out, or the top end of that stone sticking out. And now we're going to go around. Welcome in, everybody. So piece of number 8. I could probably take most of that off. I like the matrix, but I don't need big, giant chunks of it. I don't think this has been stabilized. I do not smell it, which is like, so the backing is a form of stabilization, I guess. Really it just prolongs its life and jewelry without actually messing with the stone. And you have other forms of stabilization, which are sort of types of epoxy or similar things like that. A hardening agent, which is usually vacuumed into the stone. That does alter it just a tiny bit. It can occasionally alter the color without dyeing it. And then there's straight up dyeing it and filling it, and that is not what this is. So, alright, let me just make sure I got my girdle approximate, because I'm about to go around and start to try and dome it. If I have to bring the edges in again later, we will. It's looking pretty good. So that's as much of a dome as I could possibly do. So we're going to start bringing that down to the girdle at a 45 degree. I got this from, it wasn't Ray. It was, I don't know if Ray was at the sale, Husky. I believe this came from Tim and Tim's sale. Well, that same day as Tim's sale. Now, I think they separated invoices, so I would know if this was Ray. I know I spent too much. Between the two Tim sales, not really. They were really good deals. So far, 99% of the rough is really good. See that little slip that I just did? That'll put a groove right in your edge pretty quickly. Let's see what we got in this. I got gloves on, so I can't do that. I'd like to get it a little less blurry. As you can see, it started at 45 around the outside, and I'm already coming down to the edge. So I might have to bring it in some more on the edge, just so I don't have the black of the backing sliding up the edge of the setting. Hi everybody, welcome in. Appreciate you being here very much. You have no idea. If you want to hit that subscribe, I just go live probably once or twice a week, and then Sunday lunchtime, so kind of Thursday tea time, which is about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock on a Thursday, and Sunday just around lunchtime on the East Coast. do that, not necessarily by choice, but I have work and other responsibilities that I have to take care of, and these are my free time. And I'm glad you could all come in and join. Alright, just going around slowly. I can't do the dome as much as I'd like on this wheel. I will catch an edge and it'll dig right into this stone. So, I'm going to do it on the third wheel, and hopefully it'll get a bit more time on there. I will have a little bit more time on there, but on the soft wheels, going to make less of a mistake. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. So there's a couple of different pieces. Give me 1 second. Here, Husky, I got the other pieces right here. So that was pretty cool. And there's a couple of different. Hi, KG. Welcome in. We should show your garden. This is a different kind. This is what I've had a few pieces of this from a friend up in Georgia named George. Pretty brown matrix. I'm not sure which I would prefer as far as type. All number 8. Hey Rich, welcome in. This one's got a little lighter matrix in there. But again, almost an end cut. And you've got the bigger florets and the smaller ones with the better webbing in it. So, and darker darker matrix. And somehow I want to bring it down so I get something in that little hole right there. So that's all I got of that. I think that was a 1/4 pound. And if it's raised Husky, I imagine it's pretty good. I know. Rake it out cabbage pretty much 5 times a day. He probably does his cabs. I know he does them slower than others if he wants to get them perfect. So he probably does it twice as fast as we do. At least me. I used to spend an hour on a cab. Now I try to spend about 30 to 45 minutes. Doing a bit of a wiggle waggle to round out that dome. So thank you all for coming in. If you are interested in not so much turquoise but other minerals, I think Kyle is on live, and he has an assortment from all around the world. I know he sources out of Africa and a few of his friends. Trying to decide if I take that little corner off, but I'm going to leave it. Okay, let's move on to the group. This is a 280 Nova. Yeah, it is. And I've seen some other stuff coming out that is all swirly looking, and I'm not even sure if that's number 8. Yeah. You see that? I just did that. So if I had just done that on this wheel, I don't know if I'd end the live, but I'd be pretty upset. But luckily it was on the soft wheel, and it still made a groove right across the face, but it'll come out. So some of that is me, and some of that was, actually I was thinking about stuff out in the garden and losing my concentration and focus. And then also I have a lamp to my right eye and a phone in between all of us. So I am literally behind the phone as I'm doing this. So okay, just working this in, starting to round off. That's looking really nice. So, bit of a dome. So experiment number 1, with backing the opposite way of what I normally back, has worked out. But you can see how thin it got on this side and how much thicker it is on that side. I'm actually going to see if I can bring that in. It might be a mistake, but I want to get a little bit more of that matrix showing. This also depends on how you set. Some people set just up to the edge of the dome, and some might even set all the way up and fold it right around the edge. So it really depends on how your silversmithing is. Gonna bring this down, and we're almost ready to move on to another piece. And we'll see how that new tactic works on another piece. Make my third all the same. And actually what I can do, get some of this backing off. I'm going to do this pretty evenly. You can see the stone coming through the middle, and that's that dome right there. So, yeah, I reverse backed this, and it's worked out pretty well. So very happy with that one. Let's move on to something else. Yeah, I don't know, that's I don't know if you put the silver on the back these days because it's so expensive, but nice bezel on it, nice silver bezel, and bail at the top, and that's a chunky piece. Right, let's see what we got. Ow. Literally at 2 1/4 inches. Just over 2, and thick 1 1/2. Pretty cool, nice color, and I'll finish that polish up later on this evening. Alright, I'm going to use like this serpentine stuff that I had, but I'm just going to use this to dress my wheels real quick. And then we're going to fill it up again with some backing. But I just want to, this is just to bring the diamond bits back up to the surface, so it's touched a little better. We just filled them in with that backing. So this stuff was weird. It's soft and yet not soft, and crystalline but not crystal. Well, it is crystalline. And it's also, where's my, I believe it's also see-through. Yeah. So, I'm sure on this one. We were going with serpentine, we were going with a jade, but it's not jade, it's not hard enough. So. Not quite sure on that one. Who knows? Husky, maybe we can... Yeah, it looks like jade, but it's not hard enough. Watch. Like I should not, with a jade, be able to do that to an edge and round it nicely like that within seconds. So I might have even bought it as jade. All right, let's do the Bella. Same thing. This was an end cut. If you were watching last week on the live. So this same thing, this is the outer edge right here. It's much rougher than the cut itself. That's the saw cut itself. And I backed it opposite to what I normally would. Just to see if we can get more out of the stone and a bigger face. So, welcome in everybody. Channel SirRocksAlot. I'm glad you could make it. Hang out for a minute or two, you know. Maybe you'll see something you like. If you could hit that like button, that would be awesome. It pushes me out to other places. I actually been getting a lot of watches from around Europe, Eastern Europe, Romania. We've had quite a few in from Indonesia and Malaysia, the Middle East. Well, I appreciate the warning. I can't tell you exactly what I do every day. It doesn't really matter, but it's nothing too important. But I deal with customers all day. And I don't know. I've bartended for years. I've done customer service for my whole life. And I enjoy it. So, usually it helps that somebody needs something from me rather than me needing something from them. If that makes any sense. Alright. But somehow I don't believe you, Husky, either. I might just round these corners off because it does concave in there. Now this one is stabilized and you can smell it. Stabilization isn't a terrible thing. So I'm going to round these corners. So just as a comparison, this is coming off at the same speed that what we thought was jade was coming off too. So I doubt it very much. Actually, I think somewhere in my content we cut a piece of that. Alright, come on. Hi everybody, thanks for coming in, really appreciate you. Just cutting some turquoise today. I went and backed everything backwards from what I normally would do. So normally I would back from this side and bring the outside edge down. But I decided to try back in the outside and coming into the inner cut to see if we could get a bigger face. And I did like this little wispy. I don't know if it's, well, we'll find out at the end what it is, but tree, sort of little tornado going on. And a shout out to AZ Rock Pounding Expeditions. I got a cab in from them today, so thank you, Julie and Brian. If you don't know them, check out their channel. So now you can see how thin it is. It's like how thin that backing is on this side compared to that side, and that's what I'm trying to say. So a little bit more, and then we're going to start taking the girdle down. I'm taking this off pretty quick. And this is all just freeform. It will tell us what to do when it's ready. Also, if you don't know Kyle over at World of Rock Hounds, he's probably having a Sunday sale today. And he does minerals from all around the world. Some in the US. Everywhere, actually, he does some everywhere. Alright, now we're going to go around the outside edge. Hi there, welcome in. Hi Karen. So I'm going to see if I can round it and take that little cavity out, but I do got to be worried about this little thing here getting bigger. So, alright, do some angles. Bringing it down. About at 45, so my girdle is about 11 degrees. Who knows, maybe I could be wearing a girdle. But no. We're working on that. Had that wonderful experience of having to get a new doctor this week. Alright, so you can see my angle started. Shows well right there. Do that on this outer edge, and then we should be able to dome it up. This edge is softer, even though it's still stabilized. And you can see the different types of matrix just by the difference in the colors of that gunge. Right there. Pretty neat. And one is a little bit softer than the other, and both are softer than the turquoise. Alright. Hi everybody. I see 100 in here. If you wouldn't mind double tapping, that would be fantastic. Bring that in a little bit more. Bring that edge down a little. So this got a little less, which is good. And we can bring that down to even out again. all. Is that enough? It's not quite enough to take that out, and I still need to take that out. So we're going to bring it in a little bit more. So I am working under the equator of this grinding wheel, or the center point. And what that does is it helps me get an angle without having to do it by, I mean, it's by hand, but that wheel itself has a rounded angle. And so it gives me a little angle on the edge there, from the bottom to the top, to the face. And that means you can push a little bit of metal, a little silver or whatever you're working with, over that edge, and that holds that stone in the setting. And one of these days we're going to do some more silver smithing. I see all over the platforms everybody and the silver price, and I can't tell you which way. I think it's actually going to continue to go up. I might be wrong, but I think this week we may see a few other people and bigger industries that weren't so worried about the price because they are so big, finding out that they do need to pay the extra dollar for their supplies, and who knows what that'll do. I saw over on Rio that it's 74 an ounce right now, the sheet. Interesting times. Maybe this means we all go to more natural looks with our jewelry. So, leather, string, you know, wrapping, wire wrapping with copper. But this piece is turning out pretty nice. And brought that in as far as I want to. Got a little tiny bug, which I think just disappeared, which is fantastic. And we're going to go around the edge, get that corner, and rounding this corner off. I don't want it to be too chippy. Nope. And I got a little bug right there, which I'm going to round that edge right there. And do the same over here. Round it. And do the same over here. Hopefully. Bring that straight. Sorry, it needs straightening, this edge. There we go. And I'm going to round that just a little bit. 1, 2. Same thing here. 1, 2. That's just rounding that edge a little. And now I can do this dome a little more. Do a little bit on here just to get it going. Oh, it's turning out nice. But I want to get off this wheel. Make a mistake on this wheel or the last one, it can hurt. Not really hurt, but make a bigger mistake. So there we go. We already rounded those edges. Looks nice. Get it rounded out. Nice and round. Gonna go over to this one. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Honestly, sorry, not quite yet. And I'm just being honest. I do a couple of commissions. I've only been doing this like 4 years. I'm not bad at it. I'm pretty good at it. But I've been doing some commissions with one of the local jewelers, which is an honor and quite the compliment. And I appreciate you asking, because that's a compliment in itself. I really do appreciate that. it's not so much that I don't want to do it, it's that it's a time factor. This is not what I do for a living yet. This is what I do as a hobby. Haven't been around a while. If you can make your hobby your work, then you're doing pretty good. But in doing those commissions, Sherry, unless they're coming from rough stones and they're not calibrated, it can be pretty stressful. Like if I screw this up right here, I might feel bad, but it's my stone, or our stone, whatever you'd like to call it. But you know, making a mistake on this isn't quite as bad as making a mistake on somebody else's either rough or stones that they may have paid quite a bit of money for. So I hope that explains it a little bit. So the commissions I've been doing, you've been giving me the ones probably that most people don't want to do. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So you just made my day. All right, let's pull it. Quit while you're ahead. But the ones he's been giving me, I think, are the ones that the other local jewelers in Lapidary don't want to do. So I've been doing some pretty intricate inlay replacement, and on a very, very tiny scale. And I don't know, it's just when it's so small and you make one little tap like that, I mean literally like stick, you could have ruined the whole thing and you have to start again. So last week we did, what did I do last week? I did a piece of mother of pearl, which I calibrated to a shadow box oval. I do need to do some editing on that, but it wasn't hard, but it wasn't that easy. Prior to that, I did the lapis replacement in a signet ring, which was a little more difficult because the silver setting itself had changed shape over the years, so it wasn't like it was a perfect cushion cut. It was like a wobbly cushion cut. Now, I did pretty well on that one too. But if I'd gone over a little bit on the stone, sorry about battling, but if I'd gone over a little bit on the stone and taken it in, now we've lost that stone and you have to find another one. Hi Stephen, welcome in, thank you sir. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with this one, very happy with this one. And I would say out of the experiment of backing from the outside in, is working out better than I normally do. So that's 2 for 2. Just doing the first one. These are really nice. 2 for 2. Of course, these blue gloves don't help. But that's pretty much the color of the gloves. I mean, so yeah, so of the stone. So you know your gloves from Harbor Freight, that's kind of the blue that I'm getting out of these stones. Alright, what are we going to try next that isn't easy? We can go really dark blue. What are we at? Almost an hour. Let's do this one, because I already did the other one. Man, I've got a lot of stuff on here. But that's great, Sherry, and it is about sourcing the right stones for your work. I wish I had the patience for wire wrapping. We do have a couple of friends locally that do it, and the patience that you have to have is pretty intense for me. But I love people's designs, and you see it more and more at some of the art festivals now. And it's all about self-taste I actually like wire wrapping as much as I like silver work. But finding the right stones that I think KG could do it. Personally. But I know that KG could do it. Because she is extremely talented when it comes to tiny, miniature, small, crafty things. So from needle felting to building doll houses or dioramas right now, this is a piece of Kingman, dark, got some hematite in it, and thank you all for the thumbs up. If you just double tap that screen, it would be great. And if you're out to brunch and you can't get a table, maybe turn up the volume a little. Turn up the volume a little bit when I'm on this wheel, and you might get to the head of the line pretty quick. So same thing on this one. I backed it topsy-turvy. Alright. And some of the creations that KG can do is just mind-blowing. There's felting and then there's felting. And I don't down any of it, because if you're taking some time to do some crafting or some stones or whatever it is that keeps your mind at peace, I only commend it. And I think everybody should have something that they do. This is what I do. And this gets me out of my work at the end of the week. And also gives me something to daydream about at the beginning of my week when I go to work. Okay, so same thing. We did topsy-turvy. What's funny, Husky, is that sometimes I'll be watching somebody else on YouTube and I'll put it in my pocket or forget that's going on, and then my wife will come out and think I'm out on the machines myself. So not only do I share myself on the machines, but I also watch a lot of people to learn from, really. Myself. Shoot, without these platforms, I would not be as good as I am. What kind of stones are you talking about, Sherry? So, things are different. So for me, I tend to work on softer stones, only because it's better on my equipment. You get into agates and jaspers and beautiful, beautiful stones, but they tend to work on your machines pretty hard. Not that I mind doing them, and they're a lot screechier than this. So. Just for comparison. Well, that's a pretty piece. Wow. So here we go. Ready? Backed Turquoise. And well, that's some Burrow Creek. So Burrow Creek, which I think isn't too hard. It's hard. So softer, harder. And then look at this piece. This is gorgeous. And I'll take that out. I don't know what we do with this one. Maybe a couple of different stones. But so there's a couple of different things I can do on here. Let's see. So this is more quartzy. A little bit more streamy. And then the agate on the outside is just, that's pretty loud and streamy. Yes, it is therapeutic. And if you were thinking about anything, it's so loud you can't think anymore. So yeah, there's the differences right there. That's an agate, and it does come off a little bit, whereas if I'm doing the turquoise, just a different type of ASMR. So I guess it depends on the day, what you're feeling like. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we all got to mute ourselves, don't we? So something to also watch out if you're doing backing is making sure you press it consistently all the way around. Otherwise you get little undercuts, and this, I have to take that off. Alright, almost ready for doming. It is way too thin still. See how thin that is? This thin. Take off some of the back. Oopsie. So that was me pressing too hard. Alright, so I'm good on this side, but this side is way too thin. So I can bring that in. Actually, with this piece, it didn't need stabilizing, but there were areas that it was so thin that I did back it up. Hey everybody, appreciate you watching. What are we on, 2 o'clock probably? I'm sure people have things to do. So probably close to 2 o'clock on our end, and maybe a little bit, 11 o'clock out in California. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have that problem too with some of the slabs that I have. Some of them, my wife was nice enough that we got them in bulk, and some of them were labeled and some were not. And it's not too hard to tell a jade difference, but when you start getting into agates, jaspers, and petrified wood, they can be a pretty mix. You know, even on this one you've got agate and, you know, quartz geodes in the middle, and that quartz cuts differently than the agate. So it's not easy. You're better off, I don't know where you're at, but you're better off maybe going and looking for your local gem and mineral society. And don't sell everything to them, because they're always looking for stuff, but usually your local gem and mineral society are your best bet of identification. I'm sure, Sherry, if you're in California, and I don't know which end of California you're in, but there are plenty of gem and mineral people who would be more than happy to tell you what you have. I know down in the Boston area and San Diego area, there's some, I think California's maybe as much into rock as anywhere else in the country, if not more. Just because of the access to the stones themselves. And then when you start getting up north, closer to Washington, and still a trip. So California would be things like Katy Mountain. Trying to get enough on one side here, and it's not coming in quick enough. That's not much of a dome. See that? So I'm going to take it in a bit quicker. This stone's about to get smaller. I had not joined my... Yeah, so there should be there should be a couple of really good clubs in your area. And it's not in LA itself, which is huge, but at least on the outskirts of LA, going down towards San Diego. I know they have that big, they have a huge show just outside San Diego, and I don't know if that's the Katy Mountains or not, but they do a huge show every year out there. I would love to go. I forget the name of the show. But they have a huge gem and mineral show down there. It's getting there. So, just starting to bring it in some more. Like I said, I did these upside down. So, where you can see the wavy edge there, that was actually the outside of the stone. But I need to be able to dome it just a little. So, and that was my question of doming it upside. Of backing it upside down, was whether I could bring it in enough that I would still be able to do a dome on it. It's gonna go pretty hard. Got some water on there. I did have a mask on. How we did. Plenty thick that side. This is getting a little bit better. I think one more time and we should be good. And then the next stone we're going to try is the red wedge chrysocolla. Okay, so getting better. I'm going to reorient it a little bit. I'm going to take some of this back off right here. Sorry, I'm off middle a little bit. Get rid of some of that backing. New Paris, welcome in. Colombia. I have a friend down in Colombia right now. Welcome in. Hi. And I'm sure you get a lot more minerals than I do here. Paris, Cali. Alright, so what you can see, so like I said, we backed it upside down. That was the outside of the stone. So you can see how much of that level, at least on this side, got filled in by that backing. Now, start doming that top. Now I'm just taking off the bottom edge. And now we're going to take this top. Not going to be a high dome for sure. This side first. Thank you all for coming in. I was glad you spent some time with me. Thank you, KG. The one and only KG. I'm just trying to put a little bit of a dome on here. This is sort of a hematite Kingman, dark blue. And make sure dig into the backing. Go around the whole stone. Hey Sherry, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us today. Really appreciate that. And I really hope you can find someone that can help you out there. It's very hard to do not in person, so just with pictures to identify. And I'm sure you will find somebody that can look at stuff and go like, bump, shade, petrified wood from so and so. I've got to bring it in just a little. Got a little pocket between my backing and the stone here that I have to get out. And there that goes. Alright. That's around it. Hi Neil, welcome in. You got yourself a good name right there, Neil. Alright. Sort of see the flat matrix coming out. And it's starting to shine, and when I mean shine, I mean shimmer, because of the hematite in it. I believe it's hematite. Ooh, that's mighty thin right there then. I wonder. I'm talking to the stone. I want it to do something for me. I'm hoping. Okay, that's a little bit better. So now, still got an edge, a little bit of a dome. I could probably bring this in a little bit more and it would get thicker, but it's looking pretty good. I'm going to go onto the Nova. And actually, well, that little sparkle is not the backing that's the stone. Oh, I'm quite a mess today. But I think we can just do this. And I'm taking the gloves off. Next piece is really pretty, you know. And we're going to pour it after the next stone. Thanks, Neil. I appreciate that. Yeah, I tried to switch it up a little bit. We worked on a few different materials today. We've shown a little bit of different hardnesses today, which is neat. And not so much the hardness, but the screaming noises it makes on the machine. So I know which ones to do at midnight and which ones not to do. Well, most of my neighbors are up pretty late. I know I just got really close to bringing it down too much. Alright. Let's have a look. So we're 3 wheels in. Let's see if we can, well, so this does have a little bit of quartz in it. Got some hematite, pyrite, turquoise, and a little bit of quartz. And this little white spot in the middle is natural and kind of cool. So I'm going to take the gloves off. And it shows up here a little bit better. And kind of see the pyrites up in here. You see that little shinies. A little bit of quartz over here, so I'm kind of pointing with my light. So the quartz over there. And it's got some pyrites, hematites in there, some really nice blue on this edge. And very happy with that. So what are we up to? 3? 1, 2, 3. That looks pretty good. I do. I really like this dark stuff too. I'm going to see if I can get any more. It was a mixed bag. I mean, so this and this came in the same Kingman. Well, big difference, isn't it? Oh, I like this blue. Almost robin's egg blue on this one. So the next one, though, I am going to do a piece that is a red chrysocolla. And yeah, my machine is an absolute, well, it's been going for over 30 years. And we messed it up pretty good today. But this was the red web it's a chrysocolla. And if you if you were with me, I think it's 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, I tried cutting off that piece with a 4.5-inch tile saw. It was the first time I'd been a little jolted and scared for a second. And yeah, the blade got caught. So yeah, hands off and run away, pull the plug, because it was a little bit scary. Anyway, this piece came off of there. I finished it up yesterday. I eventually got it off with being patient, and I think we'll give it a try. I have never cut this before, so this is a first for me. So probably a first for you. Tip you down a little bit. And yeah, let's give this a try. Oh, I don't know. I'm hoping she wasn't watching. So I don't know what we're going to do here. It's a little thicker here, so I might try and bring that down some. There's water raining down on my phone. I have no idea. We'll try our hardness right here. Let's see how hard it is. I think it's going to be pretty screechy. Oh, I am wrong. I am very wrong. Okay. Yeah, I wonder why this caught then. Oh, there you go. So I might have to do something. I might have to stabilize it. Now that might be from when I was sawing. And Yeah, it might just have formed a fracture. Now we just got small. Yeah. Which one do we do? Well, we got two now. Aren't I lucky? Yeah, I try to keep... Well, actually, what I did yesterday, so normally when I'm not showing on video or live streaming, I actually cut from the backside, and maybe that's what I need to do in the future. So I'm going to see if this stuff crumbles away or not. That piece that just cracked off may have happened because this did get stuck in the saw. But that piece may be what saved my fingers at the same time, so thank you. But maybe it formed extra inclusions that I didn't know about. But we're going to do these. We'll do this piece, which is thinner than what just cracked, and then I'll know what to expect. So this is not stabilized, not backed. Beautiful color. Thanks, Steven. I appreciate that. And I did think about that opal today. Just, I've been moving some things around because we're going to get some stuff done in the house. And I put it away somewhere where I don't normally put it away. But that should all be rectified soon. So really just going around, making a decent sized edge to work with. I mean, it's pretty. I haven't even done anything to the top yet. So just pre-shaping. And now I'm gonna do it right here. Let's see. Gonna concentrate for a minute. Rolling it around. Like cleaning the back side of my phone. Down to opal size. Wow, that's so vibrant. Look at that. Very nice. So still got to come down some. This is just a test piece, and even though that piece broke off, it gives me some future idea of how to treat this stuff. And I don't think I'm gonna have to vacuum it to stabilize it. Oh, maybe I opened my mouth. Dang. Alright. So, obviously this isn't stabilized and I might have to put it in the vacuum. Are you ready? Look. Oh, shame. Hi, Albert. Welcome in. Are you anywhere close to LA? Sherry's looking for some help. So, yep. Pop. Oof is right. Alright, well, that tells me what to do and what not to do. And, So, this might turn out the same and crack and break. I'm afraid it's going to. But I'm going to need some more gloves. Well, yeah. Alright, so we're doing well. We're what? 3 for 4. I think I have 4. But it's okay. Maybe it goes in the I'm gonna make a brick, like a composite out of all the pieces. So I have a small dry vac that I turn on when I'm cutting with the Dremel, and occasionally it sucks a piece down there, whether it's opal or turquoise or agate or... Yep, just add water. So I'm gonna do this. I'm putting the gloves back on because we're going to do a piece that also has the backing on it, and it has a lot of backing on it. I don't need to have iron epoxy stuck in everything. Alright, so this one might fall to pieces too. But this is some of the tricks of variscite, which was also very very soft, a few pieces. So right now all I've done is back it. Oh geez, no. Yeah, it's back it, and maybe put some more water in there. Maybe that'll be good. But maybe this piece will fall to pieces too. I was thinking about putting this on the saw. To split it in two, but it was very angled. Which I will show you in a second. So, I don't know, I tried something. You will see it in a second. You can almost see it now, actually. Hi Don, that opal guy, welcome in. I don't know if you had a chance to work on your material that you got yet. Need that water. So I was hoping that last piece wasn't going to crumble, and I'm kind of expecting this one to crumble. So maybe we'll have a different outcome. I will show you why I did the backing that I did in a couple minutes. Got the majority off now. I got this material extremely cheap. Probably due to some of it being so soft. And I did see Dave talking about, so sometimes, you know, some of these roughs, it doesn't matter what it is, turquoise, chrysocolla, varisites, any phosphate for sure. Opal's the same. But, you know, people might have it hanging around for a decade or more. Like Mr. KG was just mentioning on the Gremlins, that, you know, when it's been around so long, it dries out. It might even get a little bit more solid, and then when you add water after 15 years, it just falls apart. Alright, so now I've got it where I can show it to you. This piece, so because it was going to fall apart, yeah, I think so too, Albert, especially in LA. And she has mostly like jaspers, agates. You know, I don't know if any of it's like Katy Mountain stuff or not, but I'm not an expert in it for one. But also, you're better off with somebody in your region, probably because that's where it came from. But it's also much easier to identify when you're in person than to be able to try and do it over the phone. Alright, let's see if this is going to work or not. So that's the reason I did this one. It was angled, and I really wanted to just cut right down the middle, but I'd end up losing this. I still may cut that down, because with the backing on it, it's less likely, and I might back this, well, we'll see, but it's less likely to fall apart. That's pretty cool. So let's try, we're going to go in and we're going to try and angle this out a little bit, see if it starts falling to pieces. Yeah, the other one I said wasn't going to fall to pieces, so this one I'm going to say is going to fall to pieces. Alright, I'm going to go soft. Come on, you can do it. Like I said, I'm going really soft. Good almost. It feels hard, but hard isn't always great, because hard can be brittle. Yeah. So this is hard. I mean, it's hard because I'm on my 80 grit. It's trying to roll on me. That doesn't mean it's not going to fracture in the middle. coming off the bed. Ooh, it's hard. I'm very surprised. Looking good. Gotta even this all up around. Okay, what kind of shape are we gonna do here? Not going to be a perfect oval or cooking cut, but can be close. Going to round that off. Thanks for coming in, Alberta. Appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, it is SirRocksAlot. Go live 2 or 3 times a week. Mostly at the end of the week, and maybe once on the weekend. And then a mixture of materials from opal, turquoise, variscite, which is what we're working on right now. Different types of turquoise, different regions. Every now and then some agate, maybe a jasper or two. Okay. You ready to go ahead, hit that subscribe. It helps me get this pushed out to more people. And I love people that just come in to watch. Also love the ones that comment or even ask questions. Looking pretty cool. The shape's a little irregular. Normally I make my stuff a little more symmetrical, but sometimes the stone tells you that it doesn't want to be that way. Foam it out. Trying to round that dome out to the top, or the precipice. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for spending some time on your Sunday with me. So, I like this. So some of this back's going to come off. There's a little hole right there. But I'm going to kind of leave it like this. I'm going to decide whether I cut this in two, but I think I'm probably going to leave it the way it is. With a higher dome on it. Hey. A little bit loafy, bread loaf, but come over here. Hi everybody, welcome in. SirRocksAlot. If you would double tap, I'd really appreciate it. If you'd stay longer than a minute, I'd really appreciate it. Maybe you'll see something you haven't seen before. If you have any questions, go ahead and stick them in the chat. If you just want to say hi, that'd be great too. I see I just scared everybody else. We went to 67. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's okay. But as soon as piece of Cristo. Cristo. It's not chrysocolla, but like a variscite. Alright, I think we're good with that. Let's get a little bit of this. It does show a little bit of a valleying or crevicing in one of these little lightning bolts. Alright, it looks pretty good. It's like an owl. Very cool. Wait a minute, it started raining? Alright, well, it decided to rain. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4 goods. And one not so good. Yeah, 2 would be fantastic. What are we hitting? 650? Alright. Fantastic. Thank you all. So, yeah. These are all phosphates. From different places in the world. We tried this. Chrysocolla. I might have to vacuum that up and put some epoxy in it. Yep, 2 more to go to 650, which would be fantastic. And we're slowly climbing up. I'm just happy that there's anybody in here watching and saying hi and taking an interest in what we're doing. So Kingman, Bella, number 8, and Christo. Pretty cool. Pretty big too. Let's see what else we got. And we'll do one more. That's ugly. You try an ugly one? Yeah, I think we're gonna try. Yeah, ugly or uglier? I think we're gonna go with ugly. This should be pretty quick. Let's see if we can find something under there. I don't even know if there's any color in this one, but we'll find out. So this one I backed the way I normally back. We cut the stone down the middle, and then, and then I backed the flat side. So I honestly don't remember what's inside this stone. So hopefully it's something. I don't know where the rain came from. It was a beautiful day out when I started this. And it's not too late. Alright, so same thing, go all the way around. Maybe start a little bit of a shape. I'm pressing too hard. So I gotta slow down, trying to rush it. Not good to rush when you're on fairly powerful machines. I'm hoping something comes out of this one. There's a little bit of color. Little bit of color. A little bit of dark matrix. It's going to be a low dome. Yep, it was. And then it disappeared. I have made many stones disappear quite quickly. Alright, here we go. So Albert, you said you're from the German Mineral Society. We had a art festival here. I was just a customer, not a vendor. And they were asking me to come and teach. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm into teaching yet. But then here I am on YouTube, showing everybody what I do. But I don't know if I want to do it in a classroom setting. Alright, well, looks like we got a little bit of height around everywhere. And now we're going to go 45 on the top of that girdle. Just to start doming it. And an oval. Fairly easy to do the wiggle waggle with. You'll see what the wiggle waggle is in a minute. That's kind of the wiggle waggle. So evenly domed. So if you're into buying stones or specimens, Kyle over at World of Rock Hounds is a pretty good resource. And then if you've never watched Julie and Brian over at AZ Rock Hounding Expedition, they have a claim of their own that they go out for agate and calcite and botryoidals and agate druzy goodness. And they're always fun to watch. Fun couple. Alright. Get a little bit higher. So, spinning a stone on your fingers when you have gloves on is not easy. And to be honest, I don't like to wear gloves that much. I feel they're more likely to get caught than my fingers alone. But I've been wearing down my index fingernail pretty hard lately. Doing that semi-precaution. Alright. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick peek. Yeah, if any of you wouldn't mind double tapping, that would be really helpful. I think my next goal there is 25, and it pushes me out a little bit more. Although today, we're almost there, and then I'll show all the stones we did for the day. Go over one little bit. So, hi Victoria, welcome in. Just finishing off a couple stones that I backed earlier in the week. Man, I wish I could explain. I think I smell that. The stone is stabilized. It has a very distinct smell. It's not bad to me, but it's not something you smell when it's not being rubbed at 1750 RPM. So even when this is finished, you won't be able to like pick it up and smell it and smell anything. It's just because it's at such a high speed that you can smell it. Alright. Well, that was pretty quick. That was pretty quick. It's a little different. Let me just make sure my girdle's 11 degrees going around. That's pretty quick and pretty nice. Alright. Bingo! Look at that. That's nice. Smoky black matrix. Lighter blues. It's a little bit lighter than your average glove. Well, no, it's actually bluer than the glove. So, nice little dome on it. And I still have 3 more wheels to go on it. Usually what I do is we go to the 3rd wheel on the live, and then I will finish them off in my evenings when I come home from work, or afternoons, whichever it happens to be. Depends what shift I'm on. And then we'll show these in the next live on Thursday, the finished product. I did those opals last week, and 2 came out really good, 3 came out really good, and then 1 was a surprise, but unfortunately he ended up having a small crack in it. Alright, I think we're good. I think we are good. Victoria, thanks for coming in. If you're not subscribed, Victoria, go ahead and subscribe, and it'll notify you next time I go live, or even when I upload this one. And yeah, then you can join us on the next live. We're pretty much finished for the day. 2 hours on a Sunday is pretty good. I really appreciate you all coming in. Let's have a look at these stones. Oh, I'm a mess today. Let's have a look. Let's turn off the noise. Oh, the birds are... Alright, so we had 5 goodies. That was that first piece of number 8. All of these still have to go through the other 3 wheels. So they will look more like that when they're finished. So that's a piece of number 8. Big chunker. This was a piece of the Bella Blue. And it's still got a little facet up the top that needs to be taken care of, but I love this piece. It's got that sort of wispy, like there's a thunderstorm coming through look. Yeah, I really like that. And we'll round that out on the next 3 wheels and polish that up. And this was the variscite. Christo, I should say. It's a big thick piece. It's fun. Woohoo! Hoop, hoop. Really nice dark webby hematite piratey Kingman. Got a little bit of quartz in there. Showing through. Really nice. And this last piece that we just did. Alright, and we just hit 650 subscribers, so thank you all very much. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you coming in. I feel honored. And come and join us on the next one. Who knows what we got next week? I don't know yet. We'll have something interesting though. And if you want to put in the comments once I upload, we could go ahead and take care of that too. Thank you all for coming in. Stephen, Sherry, thank you. Victoria, thank you. Albert, thank you from LA. No, Sherry from LA. I hope you find somebody to check out your stones for you. If not, we'll try and figure something out. Thank you, Husky. Appreciate you too, as always. So, yeah, have a great afternoon. Have a wonderful early week, and we will see you in the next one. And in the meantime, take care of each other. Most of all, take care of yourselves. Cheers now. Thank you, KG. You're the best.